everybody. I wanted to do a little update on everything that's happening. I just put out a video about, the goings on in Houston. I have family and friends there, so I'm thinking about them and praying that everybody's okay. Everybody I've talked to and saw on Facebook, they're all doing fine. I'm still dealing with the millipedes. They're not eradicated by any stretch of the imagination, but they're not as bad as they were. And I think my husband and I have narrowed down where they're coming from, and we think it's the oak tree that's in our front yard. So we're going to figure out a plan to have that taken care of. He is headed back tomorrow evening for his final trip to Arkansas, so he'll be here full time after tomorrow, and we'll have some more videos coming out, more updates happening on what we're doing around here. It won't just be me anymore, it's the both of us, so I'm hoping we'll get a lot more accomplished. We did get the roof fixed. I'm going to do a separate roofing video this week, and I'm going to talk about how to choose a roofing company and some things you ought to consider, things you ought to think about, and just things that we learned during the process of, hiring a roofing company in Arkansas. This isn't our first roof replacement. We've done a couple in Texas, but this is our first experience here in Arkansas, and I think people should be aware of some of the good and some of the bad that comes along with that. So I'll be doing a separate video on that. It's starting fall season. Will be coming up in the next week, so I'm going to be doing some fall decorating out on the porch, and I'm still working on my flower beds. I'm going to get those ready to go so that spring will offer me an easier planting time, and I can get things in faster and get them rooted faster. That's the most important thing. And we're going to start, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to get a greenhouse going, because we need to have that ready for spring so that I can start planting and canning up and doing food and stuff like that. So we've got quite a bit of repairs going on. My husband wants to focus on tightening down the cabin first, and then we're going to move on to my workshop, and or it could be a workshop we share. I don't know until he gets the garage done. And we're going to do as much as we can to get things done before the dreaded winter comes. So let's see what else is going on. I've got a couple of restoration or recycled furniture projects that I'm going to be doing. I've got a bench that I want to redo and use, and then I've got a table that it's out on the porch that I want to redo and use. And I've got stuff to make a very small waterfall feature for the front yard, and I don't know when that's going to actually go in, but I've got all the stuff to do it. I'll be doing window washing in the fall, just because I want to avoid all the wasps and the bees, and once they go dormant, then I'll be able to really spruce up the outside and get stuff cleaned off and things like that. I don't like to fight the wasp or the bees, and because nobody's lived in this place, we've had to tackle that as much as the snakes and scorpions and other things going on here. The mower, we found a mower when we moved in here in the garage, and that was repaired a little over $100 to fix it. It goes really slow, but it is a riding mower. So I think we're going to just be watching for good mower, good tractor in that situation, and maybe wait until the spring to really pull the trigger, unless we find something that's a really good deal before that. So we've got some loose ends in Dallas that we'll be tidying up, And once that happens, then I'll be getting some, hopefully I'll be getting some new appliances, and we need to replace a bathtub, we need to replace a water heater. All those things are on the list. A friend of my neighbor's also deals in guns, and he brought me a new Mossberg pump action 410 to shoot armadillos and snakes and things like that that would, you know, potentially hurt our property or us. And once I get some ammunition, I'll be talking about that particular gun and you know, what I think about it from a woman's perspective, and how it shoots, etc. I'm really not going to get into a lot of guns and ammunition on my channel because that's not the forefront of, that's not my super interest. I have them here because they're part of this lifestyle, but it's not something that I focus on every day, and it's not something that I'm taking on as any sort of a hobby. I've shot guns my whole life. I know what they're for, and I have a high respect for guns. And so you might get more of that stuff on my husband's channel, but certainly not on this one. That's just part of the homestead lifestyle. I've got some hanging baskets that I've ordered and for fall, and I'll show you those. Once they get here, I'll do an open box of those, and I'll see how those work. I've also got a couple of reviews of some products that I think are pretty good, and I want people to know about them as well. And yeah, we just got a whole bunch of stuff that's coming up, and we're gonna start buttoning down for the fall and the winter. I'm behind on a lot of canning just because there's just a lot to do with unpacking and getting our place ready to actually live. So I want to really get rid of the excuses and get down to business and really get working on all the stuff that we need to do together as a couple and as a team. I need to change my driver's license and my license plates, and that's on the short list to do. So I've got to do that as well. I've got to figure out where to do that and how to do that. I've ordered a copy of my birth certificate so I don't have to dig through the garage to find it, because Lord knows where it is, right? And let's see, I have some sweet recipes coming up, so I think that's about it. But stay tuned and stay dry. Those in South Texas, I'm a Texas girl, and my heart hurts for everybody that was affected by this horrible storm. My parents went through Rita and Katrina, and the folks down here or the folks down in Texas are very resilient, and they all pitch in and help each other. So they're used to the high waters and flood, but certainly not at these levels. So keep them in your prayers, and I'll see you guys on the next video, and find somebody to bless today. Bye bye, everybody.